Hey, everyone. Welcome to the Entrepreneurs Hangout podcast. This, I think this is going to probably be absolutely my favorite show. So, I'm first of all talking about my passionate about like selling your growth, but I'm also here with one of my new besties, Jade Glab. Jade, say hi.
Hi! It's so nice to meet everyone.
She's got just as much energy as I do, so you guys are
I
probably
know,
going to
and
need
we've
put
got
your
the Alani New just
exactly.
in the frame. It's got the pink. We wear on Wednesdays. We wear pink. So I
That
don't
is
know if anyone
awesome.
watches the movie Mean Girls, but
That is good.
outside of Stacking Capital, I love a good chick flick.
That I love it. I love it. So Stacking Capital
Stacking
is the
Capital,
company.
yes.
And before we get started into like the serious business stuff, Jade, I want to tell everybody this is interesting how we met. So we met networking on LinkedIn with a friend of mine, Steve, which is amazing. I think he's going to climb on.
Mhm.
And the thing of it is, Jade and I said, "Oh, well, wait, where are you? You're in New Jersey. I'm in Culpeper, right? That's not that far away. Let's meet for lunch." And bam, like the next day we met.
Well, actually, I was going to a trip to DC. So
Okay.
Jersey to Culpeper, I will say that is a full-on day trip. That's a full-on road trip. I've done it. I'm not gonna lie. I mean,
Yeah.
it's been a lot, but I don't know. That would have been a very long drive. It was just for lunch, but I was already gonna be in DC.
Yeah.
I was there visiting a friend, and as soon as I realized that you were in Culpeper, I'm like, huh, I guess we
Yeah.
can meet up in
But
person.
I'll tell you what, you still had to at least drive. I drove. My point is we took action. We
Yeah.
took action. We met each other. And you don't, I like to know, trust, and know the people that I do business with.
No, like,
So
and
it's like,
trust. Exactly.
yeah, you're sitting across from each other and you get to know each other. And so
Oh,
we're
yeah.
like, bam, let's do
Pink
this.
tacos. They were so good.
That's true. They were good. So, okay. So, tell everybody a little bit about you and about stacking capital. And then
Sure.
we're going to kind of get into this wonderful banter back and forth, talking about how to make businesses scale and grow.
Mhm. Sure. So, just for starters, again, my name is Jade, and I'm one of the senior funding advisors at Stacking Capital. So, Stacking Capital, what we do in a nutshell is we leverage people's personal credit scores. So, everybody has a credit score. They range from the 300s all the way up to the 800s. And the way you can do this is if you have a good score and you don't have any negatives on your report, you have a good amount of open accounts, revolving balances. There's a lot of different factors into what comprises a good credit score. You can actually walk into a number of banks and make strategically sequenced applications to ultimately walk away with anywhere between $50 and $250,000 of 0% interest business funding. Now, why that's significant is because just a little background on me before I came to Stacking Capital. I've been in a number of roles. I actually head of growth at Ascend PR. I still do that. I wear a lot of hats, to be completely
Yep.
honest.
Well, that's one of the things that attracted us together because we have a lot of
We
hats.
wear so many hats
Yeah.
together. And so I'm also the head of growth at Ascend PR. And one of the things that I noticed, I worked with a lot of startup founders, early private equity, people that maybe just didn't have much of a budget right in the beginning for public relations. But right, it's like in order to make money, you have to spend money oftentimes. And
Yep.
I always heard this multiple times over, like, Jade, I need everything you're offering. I need it. I need the PR. I
Yep.
need the attention. I need the introductions. Our firm actually does capital introductions. So the thing about it is people knew they needed our services, but they couldn't
Right.
afford it. So my goal is to be a problem solver. Like, if you're really all in and you want to do this, I'm going to find you a solution so that way you get the help that you need. And at the same time, like, also are able to afford to get the help that
Right.
you need. So that's where I started looking around to different companies that offered this kind of service. The first time I heard somebody say, like, Jade, I would do anything to work with you. Just help me figure out how to
Figure
get
it out.
do this, and I will do it. I started typing on the internet. I'm like, what do I do here? How do I
Oh,
get this money? I come across a company, one of our
stop
competitors.
there. Hold on. Stop there because that is what entrepreneurs do. It's
Yes,
like, wait a second here. I got to fix this problem. So I
it's
love it.
just a
I love
problem
it. I
right in
love
front
it.
of me.
Yes.
How do I
Yes.
fix it?
Yeah.
Then go forward. It's like, just because there's a bottleneck, you need to identify the bottleneck and then go forward.
Yes.
Yeah. So that's the problem I was running into is the challenge was I had clients that were coming to me and said, I would do anything to work with you. Help me figure out a way to do it and I'm yours. So that was the very first thing that I did is I start frantically searching the internet. How do I get access to some kind of capital? How do I do this without getting investors? And I ultimately landed on one of our competitors. Now, I can't say the client had the best experience. So I went to another competitor and I went to another competitor. And finally, I came across this company called Stacking Capital. And the founder of the company's name is Patrick Paczynski. He's been doing this for 5 years. He was in the Marines, very tough guy, was a martial arts instructor for 20 years. So the way he runs the company is just a very tight, diligent ship. And what I love about this company is there's so many different companies out there that are doing the 0% business credit cards. And like they're just shotgunning your applications to all the different banks. They're leaving a ton of inquiries on your credit report. They're essentially not leaving you in a better place than where they found you. But Stacking Capital is so unique because what we're doing is we're building a path for people to become bankable. And what that means is that we take somebody who's never been a business owner with a good credit score and some sort of like potential to become an entrepreneur. That's one of the things I love about this country is that America is the only country in the world where you can get access to capital to start your business. You can walk into a bank, just be responsible with your money. And if you're not there yet, we can help to build you up to that point. But from there, we take someone with a good credit score, with good potential. We get them that bridge into the door of business banking, starting off with 0% interest business credit cards. From there, we're helping business owners to build up trade lines on their credit report. We're helping them to navigate business credit, just like personal credit. How do we build business credit that helps people get approved for things like SBA loans, lines of credit at really great rates too? I mean, we want to create responsible borrowers. We want to create low risk borrowers, people that have the potential to turn tens of thousands or even hundreds of thousands into the millions in capital and create millions in value for the world. That's what we're here for. And every single time I get to speak to a new entrepreneur that's considering working with us, it's just another opportunity to impact the world, whether it's an excavation company like Kylie. We actually had a shared client that ended up coming on board to Stacking Capital. He's building an excavation company, disabled veteran. He's going to be able to utilize that capital to land government contracts.
He's going to rock and roll.
Such an incredible opportunity. I've seen HVAC companies come through the door, biotech companies, people who are doing the latest innovations. I've seen holistic wellness coaches come through the door. Gosh, I mean, I've seen so many people that are building businesses that are going to make a huge impact on the world. And yes, they might be smaller businesses. They may not be the hottest tech company that's going to get VC funding. Not to say that VC funding is bad by any means, but the way I see it, it gives people an opportunity. And when the right people are given the right opportunity, that's when the magic happens.
So I want to start with one thing too, which is, for example, Business in a Box, BIB, just looking at where entrepreneurs are. In my journey, you've got this entrepreneur that is like, they have a dream, they have a vision. They want to then, yes, I want to start an excavation company, for example. I know how to be a great excavator. I know how to be a great coach. I know how to be a great HVAC guy, right? But I'm not necessarily sure on how to start this and start it right. So the first year in business, you're on, hair on fire. You're working.
You're putting out fires like crazy. It's
100%. And you start by not knowing where, okay, I should only have a business account. I should only start with the business thing. But you are just like switching cards, switching accounts, doing everything you can to get this business going.
And so many people don't even realize it. A lot of people, when I first started my first business, so I'll give you the whole spiel. So my first business was called Crown Her Consulting. I'm a 2-time former Miss New Jersey. I competed in the Miss America pageant, was in the top 15 at Miss America on NBC. And then years later, I became Miss Washington, D.C. 2023. went and competed for a Miss World America, got second runner up, and realized, oh, wait, I actually want to do this for a living. I want to start coaching Miss America contestants and mentoring them to ultimately represent their state at Miss America or Miss America's team and live their dream. So that was my very first business coming into this. And what was the first thing that I was told? I was told you need the bail team. So you need a banker, you need an accountant, you need insurance, and you need a lawyer. So that was the first thing I did, but nobody told me you need the bail team. Bail. I just came up with that on the fly. I've never said that in my life.
That's funny. That's funny. Yeah. But really, though, Jade, what happens? That's not realistic in real business. That's like go get the PhD in business, or your MBA in business. Yes, I understand.
I always follow the rules. I was a schoolgirl, went to Georgetown, so I don't know. Give me a task and I'll execute on it.
I like it, but that's one of the reasons that we make such a great team. The thing of it is too is like these people, they need business. They need business coming in the door. So they're doing what they can do to get business in the door. They are good at that. They are good at the cleaning business, the construction business, the excavating business. Again, the HVAC
They're good at what they do. They're good at what they actually, like the value they provide. And that's why I love working with people, because I think it's a team approach, right? That there's a lot of things. Again, it takes money to make money. So for some people, they might be coming in with an ideal profile. Imagine what would happen if you were, say, a cleaning business, brand new cleaning business, you're new to the area, you need to gain access to some kind of leads. What if you had money, like 10, 20, 30 grand to spend on marketing, lead generation? I mean, think about the way that capital will allow you to expand that business.
Yeah. Well, but also that helps you to get, so, I mean, I'm all about team, right? I have a team. We have, our systems and that are tracking, and Jade is part of our team, right? So it's like you can sit and you can say, all right, hey, well, whatever it is, I'm an HVAC. And then how do we get targeted campaigns around you? How do we emphasize your Google My Business? How are we getting that phone to ring? How are we doing this? You got to pay me, you got to pay a team. And that's where Jade steps in, which is let's get you funding. That's the point.
You funding, because at the end of the day, it's just like, are you going to try to be a jack of all trades? Sometimes we have to almost have to detach our time from money, because the more you think about it, like, oh, my time it's hourly, it's paid. It's like I make X amount per hour. That's not how you can scale to infinity. No. You have to detach your time from your ability to make money. And that's through delegation. That's through hiring people. And we've worked with people where, there was one doctor that came in, he had his own practice. Within 50 days, we were able to fund this guy nearly $200,000. And what that allowed him to do was hire someone extra on his staff to treat more patients. This is a busy guy. This is someone who didn't even have the time to barely breathe. So our funding advisors were there for him every step of the way, holding his hand throughout the process, helping him fill out the applications. I mean, people have legitimately hopped on these calls, and some of them can almost take a nap. They can pretty much almost go half brain in these calls, because we're doing all the thinking for you. And when you start to think about, because here, you need an accountant. Everyone knows you need insurance. Everyone knows you need a banker. Everyone knows you need a lawyer. But nobody really starts to think about what's my most efficient cost of capital from the very beginning. A lot of times, and when I first started my business, I didn't even start to think about how much does the capital that I'm going to use to build my business, how is that actually going to impact how much I can make? Because if I can use that capital to grow, if I can grow that capital by 30%, and sure, maybe it costs me 7% to obtain it. Like say it's 100 grand, costs about 7% to obtain it. Cool. Well, you make 30 grand from that capital. What did you just net?
Yes.
Profit. Yep. That's how this entrepreneurial world turns.
And it's also, you guys think about this. All debt is not bad debt.
Yes.
It's how you manage your debt and what you want to be able to do with it. We're not saying that, okay, start a business and you're going to get all this credit. No, it's hard work to start a business. It takes effort. It takes time. It takes diligence. It takes creating that, having that team that believes in you, that can give you good advice. I'm here because here's the thing. I first of all, I checked out Stacking Capital. I was on the calls with Stacking Capital. I'm listening to the questions that they're asking. So it's it's just an amazing strategy to push you to the other side. I'm going to give a few examples, Jade.
Yeah,
Is
absolutely.
let's talk about and we're not going to have any names, so that's all right. We're going to call it the HVAC guy, the excavator. All right. The excavator needs actual equipment so that he's not having high rental bills where he can actually go and get more business, more business, more business.
Mhm.
The HVAC guy needs trucks that are branded. There's a lot of different things, and branding trucks for service providers is the first thing.
Expensive
It's expensive, but you need it. You need it.
too.
That is
That's why
well
you
money
have
spent.
more business.
Yep, it's well money spent, but they can't afford it. So this is part of the thing of, again, stacking capital, raising capital, getting things to say, I'm going to get $100,000 loan. This is what it's going to cost. Here's where it's going to take us. Let's do the ROI on it. How much money are you going to make on that $100,000 loan?
Exactly.
Now,
And that's the way I always like to say. I mean, listen, we're a company. We're not going to work for free. And there are a lot of people that hop on calls with me and they say, "Oh my gosh, I mean, I don't want to pay whatever it costs to
right,
to work with you guys to help us get access to. Why do I have to pay for that?" Well, it's because we don't work for free,
right.
and there's a cost to everything. But if you can make that cost make sense, I want you to start to think instead of cost-based thinking, like instead of limited mindset. I want you to think in abundance mindset.
Yep.
Think about value. Like rather than thinking about the cost, think about the value you're going to generate. Because the way I see it, it's like you could have a tiny pie, right? You could have 100% of the tiny pie. But what if we get a pie that's 3 times bigger and
Right,
somebody wants a tiny piece of it? Would you rather
right.
have more pie or would you rather be in this little tiny little I don't know. I'm gonna say like a little key lime pie from the
Yeah,
little mini one.
a
You
little
want a
miniature,
key
a little
lime
miniature, a
pie?
little miniature key lime pie.
Yes.
You're only saying that because you're going to Aruba on Monday.
I am going to Aruba on Monday. I'm so excited.
I bet.
It's not the Keys. I've never been to Aruba, so I
Yes,
can't even say how the food's going to be.
it's going to
But
be fabulous.
what I will say is if there is a bigger dessert, I'd rather have the big dessert and have to
Yes.
share like a little teeny bite with my mom and dad. It's
Yeah,
a family trip. I missed the family trip last year, so I'd rather share a little bite with mom and dad than get
that's great.
it and eat it all myself. Because
That's awesome.
the other thing, it says a lot about who you are as a person if you want to
Yep.
collaborate. Like anything that was built big in life, it's done by a team. Think
Yes.
about the way the Super Bowl is played, right? Like, yeah, the quarterback gets a lot of the attention, but you have the running back, you have the lineman, you have
Yep.
everybody who's partaking in this game. They're all working together as a
Yep.
team to achieve one big outcome. And that's really what I love about you, Kylie, is with Bib, you're working alongside these entrepreneurs. You're helping them to build their dreams. And yes, you get a cut, I get a cut, but at the end of the day, we're all working together
Yep.
to solve big problems. And the people that come together and work together are the ones that are going to be successful.
And let's think about just I'm just saying on the Super Bowl scenario, right? Um, anybody that's in the Super Bowl, anybody that is, say, for example, in that caliber, hello, there's a coach. There's a coach that's there.
Yes.
And that coach is I love this scenario. That's great because you are the athlete. Yes, you trained when you were young. Your parents probably took you through all the sports training and all this kind of stuff. You started out with your high school coach, your college coach, and all of those things, but a coach, somebody that kind of melted you, that mentored you, that
That
said,
mentor
let's
you.
do that.
Yes.
So, our first steps, let's talk a little bit about how people can reach us. Number one, everybody knows it's the Entrepreneurs Hangout, Kylie Doll. So, just hit me up in the show notes, hit me up in Messenger. And what I'd like to do is get them on the call so
Yeah.
that we can get them to talk about what their needs are.
Mhm.
Get them on a call with you, with us. There's a 3 or 4 way call.
For sure.
Whoever's your decision maker, have them on the call. We
And
walk
let's
you
be
through
real,
the
like
process.
it doesn't even matter where you are in the process. Like,
No,
right, when
yeah,
I'll be honest, when I first came to Stacking Capital, I myself wasn't in the most incredible situation. There's been times in my life where I've had
absolutely.
an 800 credit score, and there's been times in my life that I had a 500 credit score. So
And hold it, Jade. I always like to do this. Everybody has been there. You know what? Well,
everyone's
I
been there.
suppose unless you had a silver spoon in your mouth the whole time when you came out, that's another story. But we've all been there. So
Not just
it's
on the
yes,
financial aspect too. I mean, I've been there in so many
yeah,
aspects of my life.
yeah.
So I know I mentioned earlier I was a two-time Miss New Jersey, which is a fun fact about the Super Bowl. You are more likely to have a son play in the Super Bowl than a daughter compete for Miss America. So I just had to throw that out there. I just had to throw
That's
it out
awesome.
there. But before I came into Stacking Capital, before I learned about credit, before I learned how to use it responsibly, I was a pageant girl and I competed 16 times for Miss New Jersey before I actually won. Every single time, it was just I was taking a beating every week. First runner up, loser, second runner up. You're not going to win. You shouldn't even do this anymore. And entrepreneurship, I feel that my teenage years really prepared me to
I
become
love
an
it.
entrepreneur and to be resilient in tough times. And yes, that's what having
Yep.
a coach is for. Is like entrepreneurship. It is so challenging, but it
Yep.
was the people that lifted me up and built me up in the hardest of times that made me feel like I was capable and I was
Yeah.
worthy. I can rest assured, like if you ever have the chance to work with Kylie Dahl with her
Oh,
program, you are going to be so blessed. Your business is going to be blessed. And I'm truly so excited for you to see all of the results that she brings you.
well, you're a team player, and Jade, and you are I mean, like this, you guys, this is like that puzzle, and now our puzzle is all together, and now we've got this beautiful picture, and that's really what it is. There's nothing you can do. I'm sorry to say, I don't want to burst your bubble, but you can't do it alone. Can't
Okay.
do it alone.
And,
You're due to
and
fail.
if you do here, like you theoretically could, but then who's at the top with you celebrating?
Ah, that's a good
And
one.
you do it alone. Who's celebrating you?
Yeah,
Who's celebrating?
yeah. It's and it's with the mentorship that goes on, when people graduate from the 12-week cohort, they go into the alumni group, right? And you need that expertise, the amount of money that your advisors, because that's really what we are, is advisors, and to help you grow and scale. That saves you a ton of effort and a ton of money with the mistakes that you're going to make without the right advisors.
Exactly. Like
Yeah.
there are people that have I mean, just today I was on a call with a guy who tried to go at it by himself and he ended up spending more than the entire cost of our program just trying to figure it out on his own.
Yep. Yep.
You're going to make so many more mistakes. You're going to trip over wires that you never would have saw. And it's someone that's guiding you the entire step of the way and
Yep.
having faith in the process.
I love it. I love it. All right. So this is going to be one of those series that we're going to dive deeper into later on. So you'll have exactly how to reach us in the
Yes.
show notes. And all I'm going to do is say bye for now. This is the
Bye for
Entrepreneur
now. Cheers
Hangout
with my
podcast.
Alani New.
Cheers, Charlie. If you want to be a guest on my Entrepreneurs Hangout, just hit me up. We go live every Wednesday at 4 Eastern. Bye.